It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 101.9, 100.5, 1450, WGNSSports.com, and Big G TV.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Sir Pizza, whose 3 Murfreesboro locations offer a huge selection of mouthwatering pizzas, sandwiches, pastas, and wings. Order your favorite pizza online at sirpizzatn.com. Danny Brewer here, back with the head basketball coach at Oakland High School, Tony Rutland. Coach Rutland, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Quite well, sir. Quite well. You know, I mean, we got to think about it all in perspective. Holidays are coming up.
Yep.
We got some sunshine out there. It's not 20 degrees right now,
No.
so that's good. So what I like to do on the first show of the year is kind of introduce a little people to Tony Rutland. So tell me a little bit about the Tony Rutland. Where are you from originally, Coach?
I'm from Hampton, Virginia. I was a military brat, so my dad was stationed at Langley Air Force Base, and we got stationed in Hampton, Virginia. So from that point on, that's when I started playing basketball and other sports. And Coach Johnson from Newport News knows all about the area because we all played against each other. It's pretty much like how Smyrna and Murfreesboro is. You're playing against teams in that district. So you had 4 teams from Hampton and 4 teams pretty much from Newport News area.
So you played against Jay Johnson, we just had on the show.
We didn't play against him. I think he's a lot younger, but he is from the area and he kind of like knows the history about, me and Alan playing together and everybody, Mike Vick and all that other stuff coming from the area. Being a football player, we had a lot of talent. Aaron Brooks, Mike Vick again, Allen Iverson, who was a quarterback. So rich in talent.
So Allen Iverson played football too.
He was the number 1 player in football and the number 1 player in basketball at the time.
So I know the story, but we want everybody to know. You played in the backcourt with Allen. That was your high school backcourt was Tony Rutland and Allen Iverson. Am I correct about that?
Very correct. It was crazy because on Facebook, a lot of people are posting articles and stuff like that, and it was an article where he was averaging about 33, and I averaged around 26 in high school. So the same year, and we won the state that year.
Imagine that. The backcourt score averaging 59 points a game. The backcourt averaging 59 points a game.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
So when we talk about college, and I guess he went to Georgetown, you went to Wake Forest.
I did, and I wasn't highly recruited. I kind of rode his coattail because, again, he was the number 1 player in basketball. Him and Felipe Lopez, I believe, were battling for the number 1 spot. And so when college coaches used to come see him, they would be able to see me and all the work that I put in, and I was able to get recruited. Went to a Nike camp. At the time, it was top 100 Nike camp, and the recruiting history. Part came high, and I was able to get a lot of D1 offers.
So Dave Odom, was he your coach at Wake Forest?
He was, and he made it real clear that I needed to step up my game on the defensive end and not the offensive end. And if I wanted to play, I had to do it.
How has that shaped you as a coach?
Really great because, I came from just playing a lot of offense, shooting the ball, and then, we're in an all-star game my senior year, and, Coach Odom comes to me and say, you're not going to play at all unless you play defense. And my mindset had to change. Very competitive. I wasn't the highest ranked guy that came in at Wake Forest, but I knew I could outwork everybody, and I made sure that I was able to work and get in the starting lineup, and it happened.
And then I think there was a guy named Tim Duncan that played on that team at Wake Forest.
He was a great teammate. When I first met him, he was eating a gallon of ice cream. He was, trying to gain weight his freshman year. But, when I got there, he was a sophomore, and, just to see how skilled he was, being able to catch the ball, soft touch around the rim. But he was just an amazing teammate. He tells me all the time I made him better just as much as he made me better.
So you've wound up in Rutherford County, had a couple of coaching stints. I think you were assistant at Stewart's Creek, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then head coach at Laverne,
Yep.
vast amount of success there. Now you're the head coach at Oakland High School. So
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about Oakland Patriot Nation, because that in itself is something, because there's a lot of success. Football program's good, swim team's real good.
Yes.
Baseball's not bad, girls basketball is not bad. So talk about being a part of that Patriot Nation and what you're trying to do with the basketball program.
Well, the tradition is there, so it's not like I have to come in and build a program. I think, when I first got there, the history of basketball was there already. A lot of great talents have come through the Oakland program. So my job was just to come in and just try to build a culture to get the guys. I mean, Oakland football is it. Coach Creasy has done a wonderful job of getting the guys to buy in and working hard and winning state championships. And, it's going to take some time, but that's where I want to be. I want to be a guy that, is going to be consistent enough where we can make it to the state championship and give ourselves an opportunity to win a state championship. So
let's talk a little bit about what's happened so far in the recent past, the last couple of weeks. Tell me a little bit about what's been going on with Oakland basketball.
We're getting better. I think the biggest thing is we're still young. We realize that we probably have got about 3.5 guys that had varsity minutes. And 3 of them are seniors. We have Lane Vernon, who is a pitcher, played a lot last year. You have Josh Wiley, who's a point guard, 2 guard, and Yeshaya Cobb. And then you have Malik Sanders, who came from Laverne, who didn't really play a lot of varsity minutes last year, but has the varsity experience, and he's been with us through thick and thin. So everybody else haven't had varsity minutes. So the biggest thing is just changing their mindset on what it takes to win. And I think that's the biggest thing. I've done it before when I was at Laverne my first year. My returning players, they averaged 4 points a game, but we played defense. And right now I'm just trying to change their mindset on playing defense. And when it comes to winning, we have to do what we have to do to win. And that's not just be individual players. We got to win together as a team.
So building on the competitive spirit that you have and building on the defensive philosophy that Coach Odom instilled in you.
Definitely. And you throw in a little bit of, just making sure that you're watching film, scouting, because my job is to give you the blueprint to win. And if I can give you a cheat code or I can give you the answers to the test, all you have to do is just study the answers. You'll be successful. And so that's what I'm trying to prove. The guys nowadays, they don't want to watch film, and they don't know how to watch film. And I'm trying to show them what it takes to be successful.
Creating students of the game.
That's it. That's all you can do nowadays. And I think that's a lost art, really. Nowadays is being a student, the IQ level. They think, they just want to go by ability and athleticism. And, to me, it's still 80% mental.
No, absolutely. So let's talk about what you got coming up. I think you got a game today, Coach. Tell me a little bit about what you got coming up.
Yeah, we have a game today. I think our last 3 games have been against top 10 teams in the state. We played BA yesterday, and we played Beach before them. And today we have Bearden, who's probably number 2 in the state under Bartlett. Very good team, fundamentally sounds. They're going to play their system, play defense. They share the ball. They're going to find their guys who are open, and they knock it down. So fundamentally sound teams, and it's good for us to know where we're at and get to the drawing board afterwards.
So I know your record is not what you want it to be right now, but we're going to relate it to horse racing, okay? Because you're a thoroughbred. I love horse racing. Rattle and Roll. He's a horse that's running today in the Tinsel Stakes at Oakland Park. He's won over $3.5 million on the track. So Rattle and Roll, he doesn't always start great, but he's got a huge closing kick. He's a big-time late runner. That's how he wins races. talk to me about how you're going to get that big late kick, because district is coming up, and that's when you want to be heading down the home stretch.
Yeah, I think the coaches see it. Our saying is a marathon, not a sprint. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And our guys are showing glimpse of what it takes to be a good team. We might put together 3.5 quarters. One game, it might be 2. One game, it might be, almost 4. But once we start realizing what it takes to win and we start putting 4 good quarters together, I think the record will change. But I'm not worried about that. I want us to really play tough teams, get us the experience, because, again, when you start getting into February, March, all games are going to be tough.
That's right. And so when we talk about rattle and roll, that's what he does. He finishes.
Yes.
He finishes strong. So, Coach, Christmas time,
Yep.
What's the Christmas list? On your Christmas list, what does Oakland basketball need to give you for Christmas?
Just being consistent, and I want our guys just to be consistent. We're teaching them, just be consistent, and I think the record will speak for itself.
I think you're right, Coach Tony Rutland. If you want to see some good basketball, you can go over there today to Riverdale High School. That's where you play Beardnet, or head to the Patriot Gymnasium after the holidays, and you'll see a good product on the floor. Tony Rutland, Oakland High School. We appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck, and we'll have some ticket on Rattle and Roll today.
Thank you.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. That's Dan France Concrete.